Welcome back, and I'm in studio tonight with Dr. Dennis Grant, author of the book Love, Romance, Marriage, and Sex, Getting It Right. And before the break, we were talking about expectations, and so now I want to find out how it is that expectations can ruin a good thing.
Okay.
Why is it not? Why it's important to have expectations in life?
Okay, before we go there, we need to know what are expectations.
Okay.
To know your expectation is to know yourself. So you have to know who you are before you can talk about what to expect in a relationship. And knowing yourself is exactly where it starts. And that's where I started on chapter 1. Because as you know, chapter 1 is on expectations in the book.
Okay.
The good thing is that it says by the time we start wading in the love pond, we have accumulated a truckload of expectation, good, bad, and ugly, that have been shaping and governing our lives. But what are expectations? Expectations, as I said on page 4, are learned attitudes and behaviors that shape the way we think and act, what we believe and hope for, and what we fear about ourselves and others. It is, to break that down more simply, it's a matter of what we bring in the relationship and what we are expecting. And most times we are expecting more than from the other person, more than what the other person expected to give.
Is able to give?
Is able to give. Sometimes our expectations are so high and we are down here, but we want expectations high up here on the ladder.
Okay, so let me just get this straight. So you're saying then that it's unreasonable and unrealistic to have expectations that far surpass where you are,
where
as
you
a matter
are,
of fact.
and what you are able to give and bring to the table.
Okay. And someone said that to me, that someone whose mother kept promoting her. I kept saying, this is my beautiful daughter. She's single, she's available, and it seemed as though nobody was good enough for this young lady. Well, guess what? She's in her 30s and she's still single.
Still single.
Because they were so picky and the expectations. And one day I said, exactly what are you bringing to the table? Not in a derogatory way, but I just wanted, that to have that time of reflection, to say, what are you bringing to the table? Why there is this feeling that you're not good enough for this person, or this person is not good enough for you, or would not be the right person? Not because the person was delinquent, not because the person was a criminal or abusive or anything. It was just something that there were expectations even beyond the individual that would have been the one engaged in the relationship.
And that's why we have so many women in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, still single.
All right.
Never been married. They might have had children, and sometimes 3 children with 3 different men.
Oh yeah.
Because their expectation of Mr. Right was so high, and in the interim, they got pregnant. In the dark, they did something, and in the light, they were presenting something else. The mother wanted me to date Mr. Brown up here.
Right.
So at the same time, I have feelings, I have urges. And so in the dark, they break down that.
Ah, I get you.
And then, as a result of that, things happen. So that expectation is no longer there. The mom wants the expectation to be high, but at the same time, they got to face reality. And they have to come right down. I was watching, I think it was 2020 some time ago, and they were talking about the celebrities in Hollywood, that the beautiful women that men will not approach. Because a lot of their expectations are so high that the average man will not approach them.
Because the average man already has been conditioned to think like that I am not good enough.
And that I'm not good enough because of the way they behave. And a lot of them at the same time are saying, no, that's not really true. But if you approach me, if you ask me out, I may go.
Right.
So that we have to break and understand that no matter who you are, I can date you. I can ask you out. I can go after you. No matter how much money you have, I can go after you. No matter how famous you are, I can invite you out. And men, and this happens with women mostly, men has to get beyond that and start shaping up and say, hey, no matter what, the queen, that's okay, I can take the queen out.
There's nobody that I cannot
There's
approach.
nobody that I can approach. And women are just waiting for men to approach them. Women in that category are just waiting for some men to say, can we go have coffee? But they're not doing it.
But see, but you said it in terms of the definition of expectations. It is behaviors and attitudes, you see, that we've learned.
Learned attitudes and behaviors.
And behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is what the men have been socialized to think. And so that is something now that has to be worked on. So you're telling me now that they're not listening here. You need to get a copy. You need to get a copy of this book because, you know, you might be wondering why things have not been working for you. You're holding yourself back at something that you might be able to approach, but you just don't realize
well, this is
that
actually,
you can approach.
This is actually for the men. This is the CD of the book.
Okay, so we have the book.
We have the book for the ladies, because a lot of us men don't like to read.
Oh, come on and tell me now. Come on and tell me now.
A lot of us men, we don't
Yeah.
like to read, and you know, the woman will take the book home. I said, wow, honey, I bought this today. Oh, well, put it down. But then if you get a CD, oh, put this in your car.
Yes.
Or as you go to bed, listen to it. So the CD is for the men.
Okay.
There are 2 CDs, and then the book is for the women.
All right.
But there are some men who loves to read.
Absolutely.
But quite a number of men have been buying the book and not just a CD.
Right. Okay. Good. Okay.
But the important thing that people have been wondering, how can I get that book? Well, if they go to the website right now, drdennisgrant.com. Very simple.
Oh, that's simple.
drdennisgrant.com. Everything is all laid out there for you.
Okay, so they can just go on the website and purchase the book. So even while we're listening here tonight, listen, this is internet TV. So
Yes.
you're online. Listen here. Just flick over, open another tab. Open another tab and go check out the book and get a copy of it, because you might need to be turning pages, you know, while you're looking at this program. Call and tell someone that you're watching Dr. Dennis Grant, and he's talking about love, romance, marriage, and sex on RHRtv1. Getting it right.
As a matter of fact, if while we're here, they should order, we will pay shipping and handling.
Okay.
Just while we're here, if they order during the show.
So during the show, between 8 and 9 o'clock tonight, if you order this book, shipping and handling is going to be free. That's how much you want to get this information.
That's my
across.
Christmas gift.
There you go.
And people are ordering it for making gifts, because you know we have it come as a package.
Right.
And then you know, plus as you know, I'm on the radio, and then those love songs I play on the radio, I enclose a love song,
Okay.
a seed of a love song in the book as a package. So while they're reading, they're listening those love songs
Okay.
to spice up the relationship.
While they're getting the information,
Yes.
they have some background, they have some mood music
Yes.
that is being played. And so expectations can ruin a good thing. Listen, ladies, you can't what is it? It's almost like you price yourself out of the market. You cannot put your expectations so high. And we're not saying that you're supposed to lower the bar and just accept things that are unacceptable.
Right.
And that's where I want to go next. I want to go because there are some things in a relationship that are non-negotiable.
That's right. Definitely.
And so your non-negotiables should match what is your realistic expectations. There should be some things that you say that I cannot negotiate on this point, because this is the basic foundation and my core beliefs, and what makes me who I am, what makes me the unique me. And so I cannot negotiate this, but on the other things I can. So it has to be clear, because in a relationship, I would imagine that you have to do some kind of compromising and working together.
I see you've gone right into chapter 2 there. Right, you got right into chapter 2, which is about chapter 3, deal breakers. And what are deal breakers? For example, on page 21, I said deal breakers are what they are of all types of description. It is important that we recognize that they exist and are a fundamental part of who we are and what makes us tick. And very often, what ticks people off. What are some of those things? Page 23, cheating. Big one.
Big one. Cheating.
Lying. Abusive behavior.
Okay.
Low social esteem. low income, drug abuse, limited education, a crazy family situation, financial relational setbacks, lack of ambition, mental instability, poor physical health, and appearance, poor personal hygiene, political incompatibility. These are of high on the list, as we call
deal breakers.
Deal breakers.
Okay, so that's very good. You know, there is one of them, the political. They say political incompatibility.
Mm-hmm.
But I know relationships that have survived political incompatibility because the two people were so strong and confident in who they are that they could discuss politics and be at totally opposite sides of the spectrum.
And the other areas were strong.
Yes,
so because the areas were strong and there's a one area that's marginal, no problem, we can talk about it.
Right, and just be free to disagree and agree to disagree.
I've known many couples, one is a Democrat, one is a Republican.
Absolutely.
And they have a good relationship, just that they have made a decision, we are not going to discuss politics. It's none of your business who I vote for, and vice versa. Let me vote and you go vote. I have my views, you have your views.
So that's not going to be at the forefront of their relationship.
Forefront. And I think in every relationship, up front, there should be boundaries. Both persons should come together and say, okay, this is what is going to happen, and this is not going to happen. For example, using my own self as an example, when I met my present wife,
yes,
she told me right up front, my first wife had just died.
Yes.
And I knew her, that's my next wife, I knew her from she was a student nurse.
Okay.
And from the day we met in Lauderhill,
right, you remember?
I remember. She says she has not changed from her nursing school days.
Right.
No sex before marriage.
So straight up front.
So whether I had it in mind, yes or no, that was put on the table. And I never touched her until the honeymoon night.
Okay.
So that we understood.
That was a non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. And so people must come together and say, okay, what are some of the stuff that are non-negotiable? In other words, you have to maintain your moral standing.
Absolutely.
Very important.
So that has made it clear that when we speak about not having your expectations too high, we are not talking about, clearly not talking about compromising your moral standards and violating all the things that you have decided are non-negotiables. We're up against a station break, and when we come back, we're going to address that topic of cheating and how it impacts love, romance, marriage, and sex. This is Views and Expectations, and we'll be right back.